What is the perfect breast image? What is the perfect breast size? What is the ideal and the universal breast shape? I get asked these questions over and over and over again. Doesn't matter if I'm in Beverly Hills, it doesn't matter if I'm in Europe, it doesn't matter where my patients come from. Even though they usually have a certain look and a certain vision in their mind that they want to accomplish, and we get to accomplish it together, oftentimes I will be asked about these questions. And the answer that I give is an answer that I learned and I continue to explore through my studies in arts, culture, literature, and sculpture. Let me be more specific. If one goes to a museum, any museum, you can go to the Met in New York, you can go to a museum in Los Angeles, you can go to a museum of ancient history in Athens, Greece. And if you observe the statues, if you observe the art, you will see that whether it was done 3,000 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 500 years ago, there is a pattern. It almost seems that there is a universal principle of beauty when it comes to the most powerful symbol of femininity, which is breasts. There are some constants. The size varies. Usually it's a C cup. It's a small c, it's a full C, it's a big C, or it could be a C to a D cup. They come together very closely. There's cleavage, and the projection is what is the most beautiful aspect of the chest. It can be a teardrop shape, it can be a more roundish shape, but the bottom line is that it has projection and it has a tight teardrop roundish shape. Let me illustrate to you what I just said. Whenever I go to museums, I always buy books so I can study the art more intensely, because it makes me better in my job, in my work. Take a look at this sculpture, for instance, which is a depiction of a lady in ancient Greece. Look at this chest. Very nice cleavage, perky, teardrop shape. It's probably a C cup. Let's take a look at these sculptures by another famous artist. Very beautiful perky breasts that come together closely, and they are teardrop, almost a conical shape, that even though this sculpture was done thousands of years later, the principle is the same. Doesn't matter if the size of the breasts is a little bit smaller, the principles are the same in terms of the perkiness and the shape. And again, there are other examples that illustrate the same point. Let me point to you to a different artist or different artists, and you will see that no matter how they visualize the torso and the rest of the body, there is a constant when it comes to the chest, and that constant is and illustrates these principles that I just mentioned. And it doesn't matter the style of the sculpture and the art, this chest portrays the same principles. This is obviously a modern artist, and even though this is modern art, and it's not classical art, and even though it's a little bit exaggerated, we can see still that the principles, where the breasts are perhaps more roundish and more perky, are in effect. This is probably an artist that was influenced by women in Los Angeles. So this is what I want to share with you. It's actually fascinating. I invite you to take a look at what I just said yourself. Next time you visit a museum, next time you see art that portrays the human body and the human form, do observe that, and your revelations will be quite interesting. Thank you very much.